All right, so we're going to head off to the northwest part of the volunteer state today. And so the goal today, I'm going to go to a town where there's a antique mall I was to a few years ago that wasn't great for records, but I haven't been there in a while. George the Antique Nomad liked it. It's got like a cool mid-century vibe. They did have some old records there. Maybe they'll have some cooler old records. There's also now in this little town, they have a little record store that I didn't know about before. And I saw some pictures of it online. They do have some junk boxes of 45, so I might look through those. But actually, what's getting me in the area is that there is an estate sale, and it's an estate sale of somebody who is a retired professor of math at a community college. He had also been the mayor of a small town, photographer, pictures. The guy was like an antique collector, old book collector. There's lots of old historical books there. And I'm wondering if he's got any old math books that might be interesting. They didn't put those in the picture, so I don't know if there aren't any or what. There's exactly one picture that had records. So there's like a stack of LPs. Meet the Beatles was on top. You can't see anything else. There's also a couple of like Tupperware tubs full of 45s. You can't tell what any of them are. So it's going to be mystery meat in terms of the 45s. All right, so we're just killing time until the record store is open. Then we'll go to the estate sale later. We'll see if there's anything new in here from a few years ago. So the record booth seems pretty similar to last time I was here. I'll thumb through stuff quickly to see if there's been much of a change in the stock. It's that kind of jazz. Yeah, I don't think it's really turned over. Yeah, so it's a nice antique store. The records were exactly what I saw a few years ago. It's basically all the stuff that nobody wants, and I didn't feel a need to dig through. They do have their second store a few doors down in the shopping center, which I think is a little bit less antique-y store, a little bit more flea market-y. Okay, here's extremely typical set of records. The usual classic country. It's like a super old school pinball machine. Do not touch it. Okay, we won't touch it. And I won't touch that old Coke bottle either. So this booth has got everything from Hot Wheels to Justin Bieber book to like replica gas pump to Sad Howdy Doody and beer signs and Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs and the Barbie van. Oh, there aren't any records in here. Did every school in America have a clock that looked like this? Because I certainly remember spending a lot of time staring at a clock that looked like this one. So one more bin of records. I've looked at these before. They're beat up and overpriced. There used to be a booth with like bad 45s in here, but they seem to be gone. but I'm not finding anything for me here. All right, so I've got 20 minutes before that record store opens, and then the estate sale's in a different town that we're going to go to later. So we're going to do a Hail Mary, and we're going to try to find something at Goodwill. So though they have a bigger and cleaner Goodwill than hometown, the record still sucked. So here in the old Masonic building, there's like a woodworking place. You got the record shop for the record, books, music, local color. Not quite open yet, so I'm gonna walk around more of the downtown here in this town in northwest Tennessee. You see, I know there are a couple of antique stores that I've been to before. Never been to this record store before because my understanding is it's less than a year old. Downtown antique stores for nothing. I may walk by and see if they're open though, at least. So Reelfoot City Brewing. We're walking by their old theater. So one of the antique stores is gone. The other one was the one that's really not a record place, man. Cave place at all. It's a total she-shed sort of place. We got the old Capitol Theater here. I don't know if they're actually still showing movies or doing anything else with it. Masquerade Theater. Yeah. So if I buy records here and I need to ship them, there's the post office. And then if I steal records and get in trouble, they've got the rather austere courthouse they can send me to. Just killing the last few minutes until the record store opens. Other People's Things thrift store not open. Tennessee Democrats, they do exist. So I've got these sleeves here, 45. And of course, we've got records. More sleeves of 45s. Hopefully we'll find good 45s inside. Tons of 45s here. Alright, so the story of the record store here in UC is they've got tons of boxes of 45s. It's a new record store, but they'd gotten the inventory of a previous store that had been sitting around for many years. 45s are pretty much unsorted. Some of them are priced, some of them aren't. Prices are over the place. 25 cents up to like $5. Some that were a little bit more than $5, like the Beatles with Obvious Appeal. This is like some CD that they were giving away for free that they got for Record Store Day. And then we've got Gene West with a cover of In the Ghetto on Original Sound. I bought this for 25 cents. Jamie Horton. I think it's going to be some bad teen pop. This I got largely for the Modern Records, RPM Records sleeve. Jesse Belvin, Goodnight My Love. I think it's soul. I bought a couple of these hit records because they had the sleeves. And then the Jalopy 5, they're the ones that did the Psychotic Reaction, and I wanted to put the Psychotic Reaction in a hit record sleeve. Haven't looked this one up yet. The Trash Man. James Brown for $1.25. Not one of his famous ones. This Juanita. So this is like some random band from Louisville, Kentucky. guessing it might be punk, but it's got like saxophones and maracas in it. It's gonna be weird. This is also going to be weird. This is a crappy novelty song by the Randells, but I couldn't turn down, even for $4, I couldn't turn down that epic picture sleeve of the Martian Hop in pretty clean shape. Chris Isaak, Wicked Game. This is the first 45 ever released. First 45 ever released. It's these old RCA Victors from the late 40s, early 50s. You can hardly read the writing on them, but it's Eddie Arnold, What a Fool I Was, and Anytime. Had been originally released in 1948. Then they put it out on, they were using green for country when they were doing the color coding. All right, so I'm near where the professor's estate sale is. I found the place to park and I'm going to go walk up to it here in Tiny Town, Tennessee. I have no idea if it's going to be good or not. Fair number of cars parked on this street, which makes me think it might be popular here. Estate sale is that away. So here's the big old professor's house. There's still a line to get in a few hours after the sale has started, and this is just the line for the main floor. There's actually a separate line for the upstairs portion of the house. After about 20 or 30 minutes, I get in. There are some records near the front door, but nothing I want. More records are in the interior room. There are dozens of people. There's antique furniture, tons of books, collectibles, all over the place. It's kind of hard to move around, and it's just not a situation that's conducive to filming, so I'm relying on the online estatesale.com videos. When I'm in the room with the records, I go straight to the tubs of the 45s, and there are actually more records there than you saw from the online photo. There's no place for me to sit or browse in peace and quiet and comfort. And there are other people looking at other stuff in the room, but I do end up going through all the 45 records. No one else was going through records while I was there, although one guy does ask me if I've seen any reel-to-reel tapes, and I had not seen any reel-to-reel tapes. All right, so the professor had a shitload of 45 records. Up front, they had the Sun records. They were selling for $20 a piece. It was like scratched up Jerry Lee Lewis and Johnny Cash. So I passed on all of those. There was a Dickie Lee in the $20 stack of Sun singles. I didn't realize at the time that he actually had 2 singles on Sun, and that one of them is tough in the $50 to $200 range and would have been a bargain even in iffy condition at the $20. The other one would have been a bit overpriced. I'm 90% sure they have the common one, but I really should have checked to be sure. Farther back, they had a room. Some of them were labeled with prices like in the $3 to $8 range. Much of them were unlabeled, and they said, with the unlabeled ones, pick some out and we'll make a deal with you. So I wasn't sure what to go with there, but as you see, I did get some. I bought an Abacus, and I bought 20 records. They ended up doing $1 a piece for them. So I've got Barbara Pittman on Phillips. I didn't look up any of these while I was there because it was crowded. Danny Peel and the Tigers on Reynard Records out of Milwaukee in these Green Bay Packer colors. And I guess this is the B-side. It's called Flip Side. I have no idea what that is. The Marksman, Georgie Fame, Hank Ballard and the Midnighters, Freddie Cannon, Bill and Fran on K-Arc, Ricky Shea on Chattahoochee. Some Star Days. We got whoever Hilo Brown is with 5-string banjo. And then this Shadows of Night garage record. James Brown record. Oh Baby Don't You Weep. Another Star Day record. Lonzo and Oscar. Bill Justice record. Not Raunchy. They wanted $5 for Raunchy. The one that Max Stevens finds everywhere. Don't know anything about the crescendos. Probably like doo-wop, vocal. Buddy Holly, Peggy Sue. So you can see none of them are in great shape. And this guy, I don't think he bought any records after about 1972. The Rivieras. The late Wink Martindale. An Elvis record, because I was just getting it up to 20. Honeycomb. Little Richard. So maybe I'll go out and check out the math books. So this guy has a wonderful collection of stuff. So when I die and my estate sale, they're going to say, good record collection, everything else is crap. Not so here. So I went upstairs. I found some very dated math books, like school algebra from like 1900. And I found an SPSS user's guide. That's statistical software, probably from the 1970s. There were 78 RPM records up there. There was an Edison Amberola with some wax cylinders, but I decided not to buy any of that stuff because I am disciplined. And so I'm gonna go walk around the downtown. This is kind of a pretty town and I've never been here before, so here in downtown Tiny Town, we've got Bones, Unique Antiques and Collectibles. And as I said, records are collectible, and of course, I haven't bought enough records yet. So, I don't know if it's open or not. In fact, now that I'm getting closer, the store actually looks empty, so I think the place has gone out of business. I guess all the antiques in this town were at the professor's house.